I'm Julie Cheselden, the Design Build Director at Pacific Studio.
I'm Ann Farrington, former Creative Director for MOHAI. In this particular project, Creative Director meant the creative vision for the project as well as air flight controller, making sure everyone was communicating with each other, all of the things were on schedule, and we were all going to land on time with the product being a beautiful new museum.
For the MOHAI project, I was Pacific Studio's project manager, which began during conceptual design and carried straight through to installation. So I was managing our effort with MOHAI and all the many subcontractors that were involved in realizing this project.
First, find great partners. Secondly, really never assume that one discipline is completely separate from the others. That there is, in a building like this, where it's not a black box, it's integrated with the architecture. We take into account daylight coming in, windows, looking back to the atrium. Where there's a project that is so closely integrated with the building and uses the building as its largest artifact, because it in fact is a National Historic Landmark, that having a great partner who understands and accepts all those aspects, someone who's flexible, someone who is a problem solver, and has a great design team.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it's all about carefully considering the level of integration involved in your particular project. And I think people tend to shy away from the idea because the perception is that it's costly, but in fact I would argue that it's more efficient to have a design build team. We were all working towards the same project goals, and it was very clear. I think that everyone was, although there were multiple subcontractors with their particular interests, everybody really did work together to develop a cohesive, really fantastic exhibit and building.
Pacific Studio's team was wonderful on reacting to problems, dealing with the fact that from one end of the building to the other there was 11-inch difference in floor height, and adjusting all of the exhibits to make that work. And I think that having someone who was both invested in the history and incredibly professional at working, at collaborating with architects and contractors was enormously helpful for us. Although it was my preference to work locally, I did do due diligence and look around nationally for design build firms. I knew that I wanted design build because we'd never be able to do a set of design drawings and have them implemented without someone being closely involved with the project from the beginning. And even though looking nationally, I found Pacific Studio had the experience, the professionalism, and the recommendations that said that one of their main aims was producing a wonderful product and keeping the client comfortable with the process. And so for me, it was a no-brainer to bring on Pacific to help us get the complexity of this project done.